Hey there, welcome to Lex Design Academy. Last week we discussed the fundamentals of graphic design. Well, in today's video, I'll be teaching you the elements of graphic design. That is every element, everything that makes up your design. Every designer should know this because it makes your design effective. Every element that makes your design effective is very important for you to know. And in this class, I'll be explaining everything you need to know that makes your design best. Let's get right into it.
Today we'll be talking about the elements of design. Now, what are the elements of design? Elements of design are the components that makes up your design. These are the areas and aspects that makes your design what it is. I think they are the components and areas of your design that makes your design pops out. The first one we're looking at is the line. Lines are used to emphasize a certain information in your design. You use lines to separate or to create a section for your design, for certain objects or certain informations in your design. The second thing we're looking at is colors. The study of colors is called color theory. Now, as a designer, that is something that you would want to study because you need a rigid understanding of colors to apply to your designs to make your design fulfill the function of your design. There are certain things that you need to know as a designer. That is how you interpret colors in your design. For example, you would want to design something based on food. You would not want to use something like brown or let's say green. You would want to use something that actually a combination of colors like red, yellow, let's say a bit of green. These are things that actually gives that feeling of food. Or you want to communicate a sense of urgency or warning, then you use things like red. You want to talk about let's say nature, you use things like green. And it helps the viewer to understand what you're trying to say. Now, there are two things. There are two things about colors that you should understand, and that is the first thing is that without colors, your design is going to feel dull, it's going to feel dead. You need colors to make it alive. And the second thing you should know is that when you are designing for a purpose, you are designing either for a screen or for print. Now, for print, the color mode to use is CMYK, and that is cyan, magenta, yellow, and black. And the color mode to use for a screen is red, green, and blue. When I say print, it means whenever you are designing and it's going to end up being used for a print, so it's going to end up being printed. But a screen means it's going to end up being presented on a screen. Now, the third thing we'll be looking at is shape. What are shapes? Shapes are a combination of lines. Actually, shapes are when you put lines together. When you put at least more than four lines together, it makes up a shape. Except for circles, of course. Circles are sort of a continuous line in a circular manner. Okay. Shapes are used to enclose or to contain information in a particular space. Or give it contrast from its surrounding. It separates it from its surrounding. That's what I mean by contrast. Examples of shapes are, of course, squares, ellipse, triangles, polygon, etc. These are things that you will need to make your design stand out. Another thing we're looking at is textures. When you want to give life to your design, when you want to give life to an object in your design, you'll see how this Nico and David stands out from the design. It stands out, it gives it that life in your design. You use textures. There are text effects that actually make your design makes your text looks like it's metal, or looks like it's plastic, or it looks like it's a fabric. So these are things that you will need and an important element of your design. Now, another thing is framing. Frames are a combination of shapes and lines. That's how I see them, and that's how I use them. They give a sense of hierarchy to your designs. A lot of things like logos are always kept in frames, so the user's eye is naturally drawn to it. It gives a sense of hierarchy that makes the it gives a sense of hierarchy to the information that makes the viewer's eye to follow a particular pattern in your design. Frames also helps to separate and define blank spaces or white spaces in your design. When I say white spaces, I mean the empty spaces around your design on the page, on the canvas, the spaces that you do not touch at all. The last thing we're talking about is type. We talked about typography before and how text is very important in your design. So that is a very important element in your design because it helps you to arrange your text in a way that communicates your message effectively. And with that, we have come to the end of today's class. Well done. Okay, next week we'll be going a little bit more into the practical aspect. I'll be introducing Photoshop to you, Adobe Photoshop. I'm introducing how to use it and everything it entails. We'll be doing it. We'll be taking it small, little by little, because Photoshop is actually a lot to handle. So I broke it down into different sections so that we can take them in little by little and feast on them, and we can become masters of design. So thank you for today's class. See you in the next class.
Okay, we made it to the end of today's class. Well done. Okay, if you liked what you just finished watching, or you learned something really impactful today, please hit the subscribe button below to get more design classes like this. See you in the